So Feeling the LEGO collectible minifigure packs is now out, and the question becomes, how do we figure out what's in these LEGO collectible minifigure boxes, and how do we minimize the duplicates that we get in these boxes? A lot of different ways are starting to pop up online. I'm going to cover all of these in this video so that you can decide what is going to be the best route for you to go when purchasing these collectible minifigures. So the details on these LEGO minifigures are typical. They're $4.99 per each figure. The launch date's going to be September 1st. So we're only a couple weeks away. However, I have seen multiple reports of people finding them at Target, so they already are being found even though we're a little way from launch date. So let's jump into the first possible method of minimizing your duplicates on these LEGO Marvel Series 2 minifigures. And the first way you can do that is by buying a box of 6. From the way it's been in the past, if you get 6 minifigures, typically each one of those minifigures in the box is going to be different. The problem then becomes, though, you've got one box. That box is going to be $29.99. You're going to have 6 different minifigures most likely. But now you've got to get the final 6. So what do you do at that point in time? This is where you're potentially going to run into some duplicates. You're either going to buy another box and hopefully get the exact 12 that you need, or you're going to have to go buy 6 other individual packs and potentially run into some duplicates. If you are getting some value out of the video, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. We'd love to have you join the channel. But let's jump into method number 2. Method number 2 is going to take some dedication on your part. So you're going to get yourself one of these, a scale, and you're going to take this with you into the store. That's a lot of dedication. But if you take this into the store with you and you've got that much dedication, what you're going to do is you're going to weigh each box on this scale. Again, not a perfect science, but there is an article from Brick Fanatics where he talks about an Instagrammer named The Lonesome Bricks. Apparently, this Instagrammer, The Lonesome Bricks, found these minifigures out in the wild early and was able to weigh them all and get the weight in grams of each of the boxes with the minifigures in each box. The only problem with this is multiple of the minifigures have the same weight. So you're still going to end up with potentially a lot of 3 that have the same weight in different categories, and you're going to have to hopefully have some luck to get those different minifigures and not get duplicates. But let's go over the weights real quick on these. So the heaviest one and the only one that weighs this amount from what he's saying is going to be Agatha Harkness, which is 22 grams. The second minifigure, which is Kate Bishop, again is the only one that has this weight, is going to be 21 grams. Third, and again the only one that has this weight, is going to be Moon Knight, probably my favorite one in the minifigure series, and this is going to be 20 grams. So those first 3, 22, 21, and 20, all should have their own weights, and those ones should be relatively easy from what this article is saying. These next 9 are where we run into some issues and some duplicates. So the next 3 that I'm going to list out, which are Storm, She-Hulk, and Wolverine, all weigh 19 grams. So any 3 of those could be in the box if you have the weight of 19 grams. We have another 3 that all weigh 18 grams, and those are going to be Mr. Knight, Hawkeye, and Beast. And then the last one, which all 3 of these again weigh 17 grams, are going to be Echo, Goliath, and Werewolf by Night. This method takes a lot of dedication. It's not a bad way to do it. It at least minimizes your chance of getting duplicates. And I guess what you could potentially do is get yourself the box of 6. That way you have 6 different ones right off the bat. And then those final 6, you could potentially do the weighing method to where you could even narrow down those last 6 even further and potentially again limit your duplicates and how much you're spending on this series. So this last one, which is the newest bit of information that's come out and probably the most interesting, came out with an article by the Brick Fan. And in this article, he says that in some of the boxes that he's already received, he was able to look at the different boxes and kind of narrow down characters to specific serial numbers that are actually on the boxes. So what he says in this article is if you look at the bottom of the box, they typically have their normal UPC code, but to the right of that, there's a serial number that's dedicated to each box. The first 5 characters can be duplicated with different characters, but the following number is typically unique for each individual character. And he narrowed it down to where there's a set of specific numbers that typically that character was falling into. So let's cover now what the numbers are, the range of numbers that the Brick Fan says those minifigures typically are falling into. He's got Agatha Harkness is going to fall within a 7,000 to 8,000 serial number. So again, the first 5 numbers could be duplicates. You're not going to worry about those first 5 numbers, but that number after those 5 is going to be what you're going to be looking at. Moon Knight is going to be somewhere in the 3,000s. Mr. Knight is going to be between 3,700 to 4,100. And this is where one of the problems I can see with this could come into play, because you got Moon Knight and Mr. Knight potentially falling somewhere in the 3,000 numbers. So you could end up with a duplicate, but still gives you somewhat of a range and a possibility of avoiding it. Werewolf by Night is going to fall in the 5,000 numbers. She-Hulk is going to fall in the 700 to 800 numbers. Hawkeye is going to fall in the 15 to 16,000 numbers. Kate Bishop is going to fall between 2,600 to 3,800. Goliath is going to fall between 2,600 to 2,700. Echo is going to fall in the 6,000 numbers. Beast is going to fall between 10,000 and 14,000. Storm is going to fall in the 18,000 to 19,000 numbers. And then Wolverine is going to fall in the 11,000 numbers. So again, are we looking at a perfect science on this? Absolutely not. All of these different methods have some different areas of failure potentially. So it's still disappointing that we won't be able to feel it, because you can pretty much guarantee that you're going to get the minifigure with the field guides, but we don't have that option anymore, so we've got to look for alternate methods. Again, guys, if this was helpful, throw a like, subscribe, hit the bell for more videos coming like this, and we will see you in the next video.